And that brings me back to the aliens.
Yes.
Because if there is anything that's going to wake people the fuck up to how weird this whole thing is, is if all these people that are coming forward, all these people that are talking about us having retrieved alien crafts, the Varginha incident in Brazil, that they documented in that film, A Moment of Contact, which is amazing, James Fox movie. I don't know if you've seen it. It's fucking incredible. It seems like there was a crashed UFO. It seems like there was a crashed UFO in Varginha, Brazil in 1996. And it's like and you go into the town, they have a replica of it that's at the beginning of the town. Like it's like as you're entering into the town, they have a fucking UFO. Everyone who was alive back then has a story of seeing these things flying through the air.
Yeah.
The people that made contact with these creatures, one of them died of a horrible bacterial infection. There's record of them transporting it to 3 different hospitals.
Whoa.
Yeah, wild shit, man. Wild shit. They did an autopsy on it, supposedly. The Air Force supposedly flew into Varginha, Brazil, and came back with the wreckage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why did Brazil give oh, you mean the Brazilian Air Force?
The United States Air Force.
Why did they give away their UFO?
Because they probably had to. There's probably, look, governments give countries aid. They do this, they do that. We work this, we'll protect you from that. We'll do this to help you from that. There's a lot of weird shit going on. And if there's one country that really does have both possession of crashed UFOs and has a whole division, a secret division, where they find crashed UFOs and retrieve them. And this is what this guy David Grush is saying.
Yeah.
He's saying they do have that. And they are in possession of that. And then they're lying to Congress. They're not showing Congress this. And they're not showing the American people this. But if they did, if we knew, how much of, I mean, that's the Ronald Reagan speech to the United Nations. Did you ever hear that speech?
Yeah, sure.
It's an amazing speech.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it made all the people, the UFO dorks, go, yes!
Right.
It's real! But there was nothing forever. Nothing. To be a UFO fanatic from like 1980 to like 2017, you had to be a moron.
Come on!
I was a moron. Look, I was one of those guys. But you had to, there was not much. You weren't getting much. You'd occasionally get a book. I remember... I
mean, Roswell. You had Roswell.
You did have Roswell, but you also had some weird stuff. And one of the weird things we had was the abduction phenomenon. That was very weird.
Well,
and that the guy from Harvard, John Mack, who did all those hypnotic regression sessions with people that claimed to have been abducted, and they were eerily similar.
Yeah.
Eerily similar. But apparently people have like questioned his methodology, and people have questioned like the leading nature of whether or not he led people into these thoughts, you know, like by questioning them, asking them,
okay,
what have you experienced? Have you been encountering UFOs as an alien? I don't know what he asked.
You know what it's called? Swamp gassing. You know what that term swamp gassing?
No, what's that? You attribute,
So people are having legitimate experiences all around the fucking planet, and then people are like, they're all crazy,
right?
Or they were all tricked into saying something.
What are the criticisms of John? See if you can find Google criticisms of John Mack, abduction hypnotherapy.
Man, I gotta use the back.
Piss, right? This is the problem with these things. Like we have a zipper on the back.
Oh no!
Yeah, I gotta like unzip you here before you can pee. I was wondering how long should we end this? We're at like 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah, it's been 4 hours.
Dude, we can't end it on the middle of a UFO thing. We gotta finish out the. I will hold.
Okay.
I will piss in my fucking furry outfit.
Well, we don't have to. We could just end.
No, I mean, I like to. That's something.
I got it.
I don't want to. That's something Meow Meow does.
What do you got?
The John Mack thing. I remember talking about
the John Mack thing. Yeah. That's right.
I can't remember.
How are you doing? You all right over there with your pee-pee? It's hard, right? It's hard to concentrate.
Meow Meow likes to pee on himself.
No, Meow Meow. Don't do it in my studio. Ari's already done that. Ari's pissed in here a half a dozen times. In the old one, he used to like piss in kombucha bottles. Yeah, so he interviewed all those children in Zimbabwe that had a mass sighting, and that one's
crazy.
Very compelling, very, very, very compelling, because all these kids have the same story, and he talks to them independently, and they all have the same story. Look, man, if these fucking whistleblowers are telling the truth, we have been visited.
Yeah.
And these kids are telling the truth, which makes way more sense than they're all just lying and they all have the same story.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's going to be so fun to go back through every single, like, one of these events that we have, like, rolled our eyes at from the perspective that we have UFOs.
Can you play some of this, Jamie?
Yeah, when I remember reading about this, though, I would just want to add this in. I read that this is antithetical to what he's saying or what we're hearing right now. He spoke to all these kids in like a big room. There's like 60 kids, and he talked to them all at once and asked and sort of was like leading them on questions. Did you see this? Did you see that? And a couple of them did. And then when they're in this environment where he's talking to them one-on-one, they're kind of all remembering what they talked about in that room.
Oh,
that's what I read.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but that's what I read to be like.
But let's hear the kids talk.
Where was the pointy part? Was the pointy part in here, or was the pointy part up there? And what was the feeling?
Back it up, Jamie, so I can hear what he's talking about here.
Like a pointy part out there.
No.
Did you see the eyes?
Yeah, here it is.
What did they look like?
They were going like that.
Where was the pointy part? Was the pointy part in here, or was the pointy part out there? Up there. And what was the feeling when you looked at the eyes?
It was scary.
Mm-hmm. And what scary? Why? What made it scary?
The eyes looked evil.
Evil. Mm-hmm. And what was evil about them? Say what you mean by evil.
It looked evil because it was just staring at me.
With what? Staring at you as if what? As if to do what?
As if it wanted to come and take us.
As if it wanted to come and take you. That was the feeling you got? That it wanted you to go with it? Did you feel like you wanted to go with it? No. Did you feel, what was the effect on you when you felt it wanted to have you go with it?
I just walked away and I started crying.
They came running up here in such a panic. And, I mean, even if we had staged it, they could not have run all together like that. Even if we practiced it, I don't know how many times. That they came up here like a living snake. And they just came, we were in a staff meeting and we just heard them screaming, ah, and then they were here, you know, and a child can't make that up.
Wow.
I was very skeptical in the beginning as well. I believed that they'd seen something, but I wasn't prepared to accept that it was anything supernatural or anything like that.